Hi guys, Earworks here. My name is Dominic, and yes, I'm by myself, but don't worry, I'm gonna have some company very soon. So, we just had the second semi-final of the Eurovision Song Contest. I'm still so red and blushed. That was so exciting. Oh my god. And we've got the final 10 qualifiers and also like 6 non-qualifiers, which is very sad. But we're going to discuss all of that, of course. So first of all, I would like to say hello to Sarah Halloran. Nice to see you. Hi, Rai Bailey, rough vocals. Yes, we will talk about that as well. Some of them were a bit off, for sure. And yeah, we already have some reactions about the qualifiers. For example, like, Rai Bailey, you're very sad about Malta, which performed first. And Sarah Halloran is asking why Denmark is flopping so many times now, because they are pretty much non-qualifier for quite a few times recently. And also, Rai Bailey, Latvia was a real shock. I didn't see that coming at all. But hey, we've got all the Baltics, which is so amazing. I'm very happy for them. Also, they finally got rid of this, I think it was 8 years of non-qualification. Same for Georgia and Ireland for 6 years. So that is a really, really good year for these kind of countries, for sure. So, hi, Ilkin, nice to see you. So happy that you're joining. Hi, Vincent. Schön, dich zu sehen. Hi. So, hey, Elvis, fuck yeah. Very happy for you. Vincent, you're gutted about Belgium. We will talk about that as well, but I'm not that surprised, actually, that he didn't make it. So, yes, Rai Bailey, you're saying that 3 countries broke their non-qualification streak, which is Ireland, Georgia, and also Latvia, which is amazing. I really love that. So, the first qualifier, which has been announced, was the shock of the night. I think by the end of the odds, Dons was last in the betting odds, and here we are. Latvia qualified, and also it was the first one to be announced, which is so crazy because then it means, oh, definitely one of the other ones who are kind of expecting will be out of the competition. So that was a very good strategy from the EBU to do that. And yeah, I'm really surprised because I think the semi-final was pretty open. We had a lot of countries who were like, yeah, they could make it and we're not really sure about it. But then I was expecting to be maybe like Czechia or maybe like, I don't know, maybe Malta or San Marino. Hi, Jess. Nice to see you. Not talking to myself anymore. That's amazing. Can you hear me?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Perfect. I was just starting about Latvia because Latvia was the first one being announced.
Yeah.
That was a shocker.
I did not have that on my bingo card for this year, Latvia qualifying. I'm so happy for Dons though. So happy. But I genuinely just didn't think he would stand out amongst the semi-final lineup. So that's a nice surprise.
Yeah, I was saying that he was last by the end of the betting odds. Last, 16th place, and he managed to final. That's so amazing. I'm so happy for him. And also for Latvia, because they had like an 8 years.
Oh, yeah.
Same for Georgia. I'm so happy for these two,
yes.
and especially Georgia. So deserved. Deserved. It's so amazing. But maybe let's go to the comments first. Ray Bailey is saying, won't believe the odds anymore. Well, by the end, it's 9 out of 10, right?
Exactly. This is proof that the odds are not always correct. Sometimes they can be, but not always.
Usually it's 9 out of 10. So if you have the odds, you take 1 out and then you got it, pretty much. Same like on Tuesday, because I think Poland was the only one wrong.
Yes.
So yeah. Ace is saying Australia also didn't make it, and it was like 10 on 11th. It was pretty much the same. So it's always a bit weird. So hi, Klaus. Obviously, you're very happy as a Latvian.
I'm so happy for you, Klaus.
Yes, and also you as a Latvian, I feel over the moon. Oh, I'm so happy for you.
Your non-qualification drought is over.
Yeah, it's like it never happened. We also got all the 3 Baltic countries in the final. since 2015. 2015 was the first time.
Has it really been that long?
Yeah. So very happy for these people. I wasn't expecting it though. Like vocally, he was great, but I wasn't afraid he would be overshadowed by other performances.
Yeah.
Also, like his running order wasn't the best, was it?
Yeah.
It was like, let me check. I think it was after Armenia and before Spain. So like songs which are very polarizing and also like get you a lot of attention, and this was calming you down a bit. So maybe that was what the audience needed, pretty much. Maybe they needed some kind of calmness and like a very solid vocals, which he definitely delivered. Also enjoyed his background with the purple and the circle, and his outfit was good. So it made kind of sense that he qualified. But
I mean, I guess, Latvia was one of the few ballads in this semi. And this semi was chock-a-block with a lot of pop and up-tempo stuff. So I guess that helped Dons to stand out even more.
Yeah, I think we only had like 2 ballads in the running, like Israel and Latvia, I think. Hi, Fred. Nice to see you, by the way.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. I was running back, braving the Swedish rain, but
it's
I'm
raining.
here. Yes, it is raining.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we are very, very happy. Also, ESC Manga didn't expect it from Latvia. I'm happy for Dons. He deserved it. Yes, that's for sure. And ESC Nerd is saying Latvia and Austria being announced so early was a shock. What a transition, because Austria was the second country announced, and as you can imagine, I was so relieved. It's my favorite of the year. It's my second home country, so I was like, I was watching it with my mom downstairs, and she was so like, yes! I was like, yes, so happy, because she was kind of on the fence by the end. I know that she was a very big fan favorite in the beginning, but then when it came to Eurovision, she kind of was in a doubt because of her vocals, and I would still say that her vocals are shaky and weak, especially in the verses, because then that she's all by herself and she can't cover up her pretty shaky vocals. But the rest was amazing. Dancing, the stage was amazing. The song itself is a banger. I love it. So I'm very relieved that she made it through. And yeah, that was the main target, or like the goal, to get into the final. What was your reaction to Austria?
Well, as my favorite song, it was obviously a very positive reaction.
Yes, same here. Was my favorite. I wanted a stronger stage performance, but I was happy that it got through. I did promise something earlier if they won the semi-final, so
you did.
Do you still think so?
No, I didn't plan. No, nothing to do with me.
Okay.
But no, I think 100% Switzerland won the semi-final.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sure.
Also because Switzerland was announced 8th, and 8th is always the spot where the big ones are being announced. I think last year it was Sweden and Finland. This year it's Croatia and Switzerland.
Yeah.
Interesting. Random order. Sure. So, Weltoffen Zuversichtlich is saying, Austria, I'm happy. Yes, I fully understand that. A question from Bubble Pirate. Which place do you think Austria will make in the grand final? Really depends on the running order, I think.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we don't know the running order, but based on the songs we have in the final, I would maybe predict sort of the middle of the right-hand side, I would say.
Excuse me.
Well, I hope the higher the better, obviously, but maybe like a 12, 13, 14.
Inside.
The tempo might be higher than the jury, I can imagine.
Oh yeah, I think Televo will like Austria more than jury in the final.
Maybe like I'm very happy that this is a televote only system right now. Maybe last year would have struggled in the 50-50. You know. Which is saying no, Austria was bad. Sorry. Well, the televote says otherwise. So.
Oh really?
Louis says yeah. I don't know which one it is referring to. Red, I'm happy to see you stripping. Okay.
Well, we don't know if they've won the semi-final yet.
We won't find that out until Saturday.
You heard it here first. saying it's on the right side of the final. That you're saying hi. Yeah, so I must say it was the second being announced, and after that I was so much more relaxed. I was really like, my heart was beating. I was like, please say it. And so imagine it being in last being announced. That would have been a nightmare for me. I would have had a heart attack or something. So we're happy about that. Third finalist was
The Netherlands.
The Netherlands. Short run. What was the reception to yours?
I mean, it's an expected qualifier. Even though the staging wasn't really there, the song itself was alone to qualify it. So, and I'm happy for Joost. He finally gets his Eurovision dream come true.
Yeah, funny enough, I thought, I didn't think much of the staging either, but when I thought that Spain was going to be the massive audience participation song, it was actually the Netherlands.
Okay.
In the arena, it was, people were singing it non-stop. So I don't know if that gave him the punch, possibly, but the fact that it's been the favourite for quite a while, or one of the favourites, probably doesn't hurt his chances. But I was disappointed by the presentation. But yeah, the song has done well, and obviously has gone down well with the fan community.
Yeah.
So you think it's in the Netherlands here? Like, talk about this question: what song caused the biggest party in Malmö? It's probably this one for this semi-final.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can also say in the press centre, Spain went down very, very well. So did Armenia, and so did Austria.
Good. So they've got taste. Netherlands isn't going to win because I think at some point he was kind of a contender here. But that last part makes me cry every time. I'm a Brit who left the UK because of the Brexit, and it just touches me on a different level. Yeah, it's very relatable, isn't it? Especially nowadays with all these border controls and restrictions and all the things we've got in the world, in Europe, which is not what Europe is about. I think it's very relatable, especially for you UK guys, for sure. Bubble saying Netherlands gave us more wave. No, Austria did.
I mean, how can you out-brave the rave queen herself, Kaleen? I mean...
Yeah, exactly. In love, I loved how Netherlands added the samba musical ending like that in the video rather than the audio version. Yes, it was a very good strategy. I must say that I was kind of afraid of that because the people were cheering so much and loudly that you're kind of losing that bit. But by the end, they were quiet again. But the very first scene, I think they were pretty loud. But as you have said, I think the staging was kind of underwhelming. It was very messy.
Yeah.
Some camera cuts weren't working for me, and it kind of get into this ridiculous road a bit too much for me personally. And also, like my mom, who's just a casual reviewer, is saying, "Oh no, that's not for me," because she was totally tuned out by the beginning already. Because it was like, "What is that?" But not in a "Oh, I'm interested," but in a "Okay, I'm already done with the song" way. You know what I mean? So yeah, but the song is good enough. We know that. Hi, Andy.
Hello,
guys. I have to go and join someone else very, very quickly. But what the hell about Belgium?
Yeah, good. Let's talk about Belgium. I kind of saw.
I'm so sorry, but it's like I was in shock.
Were you? I was kind of expecting that by the end because that performance.
I had them qualifying in 10th anyway.
I had them borderline qualifier. Yeah. I wasn't 100% sure they would make it, so I'm not that surprised.
We knew they were in danger.
But I'm still sad for Mustii, though, of course, because he gave, a heck of a performance.
Yeah, it was like Belgium has that several times, like being a very big favorite by them in the beginning, and then in the end they just don't get it together. Like Senek was a big example this year as well. I think like also Elliot was also in the beginning a sure qualifier, and in the end, non-qualification again. So it's strange and also sad because last year with Gustav, Belgium was so good and so successful, and now which is very sad. But again, I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah,
it just wasn't it. It really, I watched it and I already said that back then with Harry in the podcast because I was reacting to the song, and I was like, honestly, I'm not that convinced about like qualification. And everyone was saying, no, it's not about qualification. It's about whether this is going to win or not. And here we are. I kind of saw that coming. First, because it takes too long to progress, and I really
Yeah.
had well doing that performance. And also vocally, it wasn't hitting, especially in the chorus. It was barely hitting the notes. I'm sorry. Or am I the only one thinking that?
Yeah, I mean, I said that before, that the first half of the song sounds like a non-qualification, but the second half sounds like a qualification.
Maybe there wasn't enough, and it was too late. Maybe people were already
Maybe.
writing it off. I think. Yeah. So there's always a joker. Is crying about Belgium, especially because we know like Mustii is really into Eurovision.
Yeah.
So Rich is saying was bad. He's an Ladino bit. Out of tune, I agree. The other one, no. Isimanga was very bad. He didn't sing well. Yeah, I think that was the crucial part. So maybe like if you just take a few seconds or minutes for this, and then progress properly, then it's fine. But if you don't deliver it vocally as well, then you're in the trouble, you know. But
Just to clarify, we were not laughing at you. Clara showed us a funny picture.
I was just wondering what's so funny. I understand my Belgium
Yeah.
is a qualifier. Yeah. And thank you for this. If Belgium, Loic Noté, my prince, my singing angel,
Not the
Loic
biggest
Noté,
fan.
he's a king. Oh my god. So Belgium, if you want to be successful again, here we are. Also, Papa Pride is saying the staging looked a little empty.
Yeah.
I like the concept of the microphones, but maybe for a bit. By the end, it was a bit bowing, I think.
I think they could have kept it, but kind of tried to make it better.
Yeah,
Because they had a good idea, it just wasn't executed well on stage.
fully agree. Neil Era is saying the first time I heard Belgium was underwhelmed. It takes too long. Yeah, that's what we've said. Sandra is saying Belgium was not too bad. The last minute was very strong. Yeah, but you need to be strong for 3 minutes, I guess. So that's the issue. Okay, so next qualifier, because I wanted to go through the qualifiers, is Norway. I know that Norway is very popular. So what was your reaction to that?
Absolutely incredible on stage. The vocals from Gunhild are like giving me goosebumps. I mean, this was 100% qualifying. I never had any doubt in my mind it would never qualify. Just epic from start to finish.
Yeah, we were speaking about this earlier. It's the fact that it's so atmospheric without being in your face. Because obviously the other massive staging this year was from Ireland, which obviously they sort of shove it down your throat, where Norway does it in a much more subtle approach and still delivers that atmosphere in the same sort of way.
Mm-hmm. So I must say that like the staging was always the plus, and it was still good, but I must say that at MGP it was better because it was more dark and the camera cuts were stronger. I had the feeling that it was kind of getting lost there because of the staging, which is way broader than it was at Norway. So it kind of loses me there. And it's not a surprise that I really don't like the song. It's my last. I really don't like the song. But I kind of, yes, Norway is my dead last. I really don't like
that's it. You're out of Eurovox now. No.
I see. No, I'm just kidding. Like, really, it's not my taste at all. But I see the appeal, and it was on my predicted qualifier, and I respect the art. That's fine, but not for me. So here we've got both sides. So Daniel is saying the performance was outstanding, but also overrated. And yes, that was the same commentator, which is kind of weird. Monica is saying much better than Ireland. I disagree fully. Ireland was.
I mean, I prefer the Norwegian song, but then I prefer the Irish staging.
Ireland, Bambi, go for it. I muted Norway, gives me a headache. That's harsh, but I kind of see why. Odi is saying so happy that not qualified. Oh, that's mean. Let's celebrate the ones who qualified. How's that?
Yeah.
And that's what you get without jury votes. Yeah.
I mean, I do wonder whether they might decide to bring the juries back in the semi-finals next year, perhaps.
Why? What do you think?
Well, I mean, because you've got a quality song like Belgium, even a song like Denmark not qualifying, and then we do have a lot more of the cheesier kind of stuff qualifying, which kind of reminds me of the early to mid 2000s televote era of Eurovision.
Yeah.
So, guys, do you want some tea, some gossip?
Go.
Yep.
Please.
So apparently, Rai, the Italian broadcaster, revealed their televote scores. And do you
Are
want to
they
hear?
allowed to do that?
Yeah.
So I
Okay.
obviously don't know that this is true, but this is what I've just heard from the Polish team. So it was 1 point to Latvia, 2 points to Denmark, 3 points to San Marino, 4 points to Greece, 5 to Armenia, 6 to Switzerland, 7 to Georgia, 8 to Albania, 10 to the Netherlands, and 12 to Israel. So I don't know how true that is, so don't quote us, but we've seen a video, and I think an official video on Rai, which is the Italian broadcaster, and they actually had the televote results rolling across the bottom. So there you go, guys, a bit of tea.
Okay.
Okay, thanks. So Switzerland only 7 or 6? That's weird. Okay. Yeah. So where to continue with that? Sandra is saying they should implement only jury votes in semi-final. No, obviously not. But I'm still going back to 50-50. I think it's the way to go.
I think 50-50 is the best choice.
Just
The
to give
semi-final
Malta a chance to qualify, because I have the feeling with televote only,
I'm
you either
so
send
sad.
Destiny or you're out.
I'm very sad
Yeah,
about Malta
yeah.
as well. But I still think the idea of having sort of 8 places for the televote and 2 places for the jury, that way you could, if whoever the top 2 non-jury. Sorry, I know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
It's just not getting out.
Because Fred had a beer.
It's essentially similar to what they did in 2008 and 9,
Yeah.
where the top 9 qualified with the televote, and then the 10th place was like a wild card by the jury.
Yeah.
But it could be
Yeah.
more than one place next
Yeah.
year, like 2 or 3
Yeah, yeah.
places.
I think that
I
would
think
work better.
North
because
Macedonia
obviously-
wouldn't want that, because in that system, North Macedonia failed to qualify because they were 10 in 2008 and
Yeah.
2009, I think. And because
Yeah.
of that rule, they both failed. So, yeah,
Well,
it can be bad.
boo-hoo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's everyone's gonna have. You can't make everyone happy. That's at the end of the day.
Obviously.
Is that a problem, by the way? Is that what
Yeah.
keep coming up?
No, I don't think so.
No?
So,
Can I
what
just say
is-
those of you who are saying that we're only putting up certain messages, can I just say these guys do a great job in trying to monitor the chat and answer as many questions as they can. So I hate seeing messages like this. Nothing's done intentionally. So
Yeah.
stop it.
So,
That's what I'm
someone
saying.
is asking, what's the percentage of jury votes currently? So
Very
easy.
hard when so
Semi-final-
many of you to pull up all of the comments and questions. But thank you for being patient.
Yeah. And so, question, what percentage of jury votes? Easy. Semi-final 0 and final 50%. Televotes 100%, semi-finals 50%, televote like 51 because of the rest of the world thing. So
Oh, yeah.
technically 51 to 49, but you know the point. So yeah. Okay. Maybe let's talk about Malta a bit more because we covered it already a bit. So Malta opened the show, and it was kind of similar to Cyprus, I think, because it was theater. It was very much dancing or heavily dance involved. I think her dancing was even better. She did a lot of nice tricks, and she didn't make it. Any ideas why?
I mean, I don't know, because I think both me and Fred were both 100 million trillion% certain that Malta was going to qualify.
Yeah, I mean, her performance has just gone from strength to strength, and this sounds horrible to say, but if another country entered that performance and song, I think they would have qualified.
Do you think? But do
Yeah.
you think it's just because of Malta they didn't qualify?
Well, yeah,
Maybe
because,
they
I mean,
were first on, or
Well, it could be that, but I mean, poor Malta is on its own.
yes, I know what you mean.
They haven't really
They're
got.
neighbourless
Yeah,
in a way.
they haven't really got friends in the same way. but I just feel sorry for them because I think they did a really, really good job.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, I think Malta has a big disadvantage in general, especially like you can see that for the last few editions. I think last year it was like in the fan community, it was kind of borderline or kind of expecting to be in the final, but then they were last. You know what I mean? So it wasn't even close.
I can
And
take it all back to mine.
oh, sorry, I thought you were.
Sorry, Andy's trying to ask us questions at the same time.
It's fine. So Malta is in really bad spot here. As you have said, I fully agree. Just imagine that you would send this by Sweden. The reception would be totally different, and that's just the fact. That's just something we have to like take into consideration. And this is really something I don't like at Eurovision. That smaller countries are in the disadvantage, but that's just a fact we can change no matter how you do the system, because even in 50-50, the jury usually doesn't get Malta through completely. We had that in 2018 with Tattoo. Loved that, by the way. And I think she got like 90 points from the jury or something, and she just did 10 televotes or something, and she got 0 or 2 or something, and she flopped. She didn't make it. With jury, she would have been through easily. She was 5th or something, I think, or 6th. But the televote was non-existing again, and that's why she failed. And think about Destiny. She was like 2nd in the final in the jury of that, and her televotes were like 48 or something. Honestly, I felt disgusted by that. I was like, are you kidding me, Europe? That was amazing. So yeah, we must admit, Malta, you're in a very bad position, no matter what you send. However, I think it wasn't that strong. The performance was good, but the song was kind of lacking for me. It was okay. It was fine. Her vocals were okay, especially because she was dancing so much. Props to her being able to sing, but the song was a bit meh for me. It was, I don't want to be too mean, but it was like Chanel on Wish. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
It was just a bit too generic, I think. So it's not like she's robbed or something. I could have seen a way for her to qualify, but being like first maybe wasn't disadvantaged overall, and being Malta, I think maybe it were just too many disadvantages on her side. Maybe that's an explanation. So Mr. Banana is saying, Maltese quite separate in qualify. It was a solid performance. Malta is invisible.
I mean, I think it's possible they could be the 11th spot that just missed out.
Yeah, that would have been my last question. But you think Malta is the 11th one?
I think I'd say Malta out of the non-qualifiers.
I would agree.
I would say it's Czechia, personally, because I love that. Yeah. Jasper, you're saying that we're doing a good job with Brandon Hearts. Thank you.
Thank you.
It's so nice to read. So what else? I think we covered Malta. So yeah, 5th finalist is Israel. 6th finalist is Greece with what's her name?
Marina Sati.
Sabi was the song. I wasn't. It's not like it's not the name of the song, because that is pretty much the song. But here we are. So what was your reception of the performance? Because again, Greek fans especially are very into the Greek entry, and there was kind of a hype to it. But do you think she was like hitting the expectations?
I didn't think. I thought the performance could have been better, but because the song again has that infectious beat or the da, I think it sort of draws people in. So it's not my favorite, but I knew it was going to qualify.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't initially have it down in my top 10 qualifiers, but I did sort of think I wouldn't be surprised if it did qualify, because it's a solid performance and it's a really catchy, upbeat song.
Yeah. So in the beginning, I must say I didn't get the song at all. When I saw the music video, I was like, what is that? It's a bit weird. But then after a while, I really get the song. It's still not my favorite by any means, but I appreciate it and I like it. Also because of the ethnic sounds in a very modern way. That's good. The performance was good. It had elements I really enjoyed, but I don't know, it was kind of underwhelming somehow because she was kind of not energetic enough. She was like, dance moves are kind of like, yeah, I do this and that, but not like fully hitting it, but only like, you know what I mean? It wasn't like full energy. And also, I think at some point she wasn't really singing or just missing the micro, like, oh, I was about to sing, but I just missed it, you know? So that was a bit confusing. I didn't like that. I must say it was better by the end. She improved, but in the beginning it was a bit sloppy. Maybe that's the word I was thinking about. You get my point?
Yes, I do. And I just want to say sorry for the weird angle and you can't see my face. But they've just started the
Your
winners'
face,
press
actually.
conference. And it's very, very noisy in here, so we're struggling to hear you.
Okay, shall I speak louder? Okay, so Maria is agreeing. She was vocally unstable, but she had a good energy. Yeah, and she was also going into this ethnic route with this traditional dance, because I think I have seen this kind of dancing other performances from Greece in the previous years, which was a smart move. But you also agree with the mic thing. Mel is saying that she's very talented and she was not 100%. And I heard she was sick. I heard like she had some fever and wasn't fully capable of delivering. So I hope on Saturday she's fully recovered. Because fully. Weird is saying hi.
Hello.
And, yeah, that's what we say about Greece. Any additions? If not, we've got the 7th finalist. It's Estonia with. Okay, here we go. So the song is called.
Come on, Dom.
Okay, Nendos no cultium dest te ami Tagi.
Go, Dom.
And any other pronunciation is wrong here. Okay, thank you. I got it now. I'm not the biggest fan of the song, but they made the smart choice of being very interactive with the crowd, which was very necessary for this. Because at first, from the rehearsal, I had the feeling that they wouldn't do that.
It's going to be a shock for qualifying. That's the thing, because
one of the things was at the audience, so it was very cheerful, and they were really going for it. So by the end, I was really understood by Estonia. Twice about the qualification, I wasn't expecting.
So I didn't initially have Estonia on my top 10 qualifiers list, but I can understand how it did qualify because it's just a fun and happy song on stage, and it's something that is going to cater to televoters at the end of the day. So it makes sense that they qualified, even if I thought other songs would qualify over them.
Yeah, I mean, I take a bit from Rai. She mentions that it's like a male pub song. So it has that chanting sort of rhythm to it. So I get that aspect. It's I must say I didn't have it in qualifying either, but I thought that Armenia was going to be over Estonia, but obviously they're both cut in, which is great. But I can understand why people liked it. It just, I guess it wasn't for me.
Yeah, fair. We're just saying Estonia trying to be Moldova, but pretty sure not this year.
Yeah,
but
I've heard a lot of people saying that it reminded me of the Moldova.
Yeah, Monica is saying it should be Malta, not Estonia. Well, here we are. Say it again, Dom, with pleasure.
Yes.
Nendes no notimus testa et amore Tagi. Yeah. So before I could say it a third time, let's continue. Switzerland, 8th qualifier, shock.
Yeah, I mean,
same as on Tuesday, I was like, yeah, we know Croatia is going to qualify, so keep going. And now it was like Switzerland, duh, obviously. So let's not talk about the qualification. That was so obvious.
Oh yeah.
Did you get winner vibes? That's the question. Did you get winner vibes from them?
Yes, 100%.
Yeah, I mean, I initially I wasn't getting winner vibes from this performance, but I must say, seeing it live in the arena today, it was it was delivered and the audience bought into it. It's just they just went a bit nuts. I mean, yes, there was a massive cheer for the Netherlands, but I would say the applause for Switzerland was much higher, actually. And it, obviously a very different type of song. So very possible this won the semi
100%,
and could be the winner of 2024.
I think it's going to be Switzerland and Croatia as the two final ones at the end of the voting in the finals.
I would love that because Croatia has never won before, and Switzerland was 1988 with Silia. I think it would be deserved to win again. Also because they had a very strong phase with Luca Hänni, with Björn Thiel, so they were really, really good. So it would be deserved, I think. I've got winning vibes, I must say. I'm still not fully convinced about the general vote in the final. I think the jury was going to eat this up. I think very artistic, the vocal line saying, even though, which is saying something about the only problem is whether the mic wasn't low. I agree. I would have preferred to be a bit louder. I had, especially in the beginning, it was a bit too quiet, I think. That should be adjusted, personally. But besides that, it was really, really good. And you're saying the camera angle is tighter and the volume should be up. Yes, so that makes sense. But the Estonia is adjusted, isn't it?
I agree.
It's a winner of the semi-final. I agree with that. I think I think it's very clever that they changed it because in the rehearsal, wasn't a fan of that. Because I was that the focus was off from the song and the performance, but just on the outfit, like, this is crazy, I'm just out. You know what I mean? So this one is still Nemo, but it's a bit more like, you know, in terms of it's not distracting you too much from the performance. So that was a fun move to change the outfit. And I love that it's very simple because it's just a spinning thing and Nemo, and that's it. But it's so effectful because Nemo's doing so many things on it. Even though I was a bit worried, I was sitting there like, oh, I hope it's not falling, you know? I was afraid Nemo would fall off at some point. Because some of the stuff would be impressive, but also kind of dangerous. You're pretty much done. You know? So it's a bit risky, but very, very happy. So, yeah, the fact that they say while doing the performance is insane. Also, I was to win Switzerland last year.
I was -3.
I was -6.
Shut up. Is what I have to say to that. But anyway, I just want to apologize to Rye Bailey. It's very difficult to work out pronouns when it comes to seeing people in the chat. And I do apologize. You are a he and not a she.
Yeah, maybe you talk about something for Switzerland, because please get some headphones, and I had some comments about that, so give me a second, okay? So, can you say something else for Switzerland?
I think we've said a lot about Switzerland. I think we could move on.
Okay, Georgia is the next qualifier, so go ahead, say something about Georgia. Be right back.
I'm so happy that Georgia has ended their non-qualification streak. And what an artist and what a song to do it with. I mean, I was convinced Eri was going to qualify last year, and I'm sad she didn't. But Nutsa was just delivering an incredible performance.
Yeah, well, I knew this was going to go through. I was getting worried coming to the end. I was thinking, oh my God, is there enough spots?
Yeah.
I was thinking, oh, someone's not going to get through. But no, she had a very, very strong performance, and it was just slick through and through. So I think it was insane to even try and think that they would be a non-qualifier. So it was a dead cert for me.
Yeah.
Okay, I hope, is it better now?
Maybe we can mute ourselves when we're not talking because we have a lot of background noise.
Maybe that's why. So, okay, I hope this is better.
So are you happy with the qualification of Georgia, Dom?
Obviously, I am. First of all, it's Georgia, and they failed 8 times. Thank you for the feedback, Rich. So they failed for 7 years in a row, pretty much, except for 2020. So it was time. We see Georgia again in the final. And I mean, if this wouldn't have qualified, I would have been like, yeah, it doesn't matter what we're sending. So I would have felt the frustration from Georgia. And I kind of had that last year already because the performance was pretty good, I think, and it was kind of robbed. But this year I was already like clapping by the end, like, welcome back to the final. Amazing. So yeah, she just slayed. That's it. I think it was so good, so energetic. It was slick. It was tight. The camera angles were good. The performance was very high, energetic, and not too messy. It had like how do you say it? Like it had a concept. It wasn't too messy. I think in some performances it was like, yeah, we're just dancing, but it's just like all over the place. This was pretty strict. Like we know what we're doing, and what you see is what you get, and I really enjoyed that. So happy. Yeah, and so curious about the final result by the end, because I can imagine that this might be maybe low or maybe also very high. This might surprise us. This might even be a top 10 entry, which would be a great comeback for Georgia, I think. So yeah. Last finalist was Armenia. Were you expecting that?
I was so nervous when I got to the last country because there were so many countries left, and I'm like, who are we gonna like be missing? I wanted Malta, I wanted Denmark, I wanted San Marino, I wanted Armenia. I was worried they weren't going to qualify for a second, but so happy they did because just so happy.
Yeah, I mean it's a happy song. I had it in my 10 to qualify. I was sad to see obviously some of the people not go through, but I got 8 out of 10.
Okay.
Did you?
I haven't checked mine yet, but okay. I did terrible. I know I did.
I think Clara got 9 out of 10.
Yes.
Woo! Woo!
That's pretty good, and I'm pretty sure Latvia was the one off, right?
Yeah.
Hi.
I got wrong.
Yeah.
Hi, Dom. I got wrong Malta for Latvia.
Yes.
Yeah,
she
see?
put Malta instead of Latvia. So.
Yes.
But who had Latvia besides the Latvians? I mean, that was so hard to predict, right? So good job. I had like 7 out of 10 because I really was a bit biased. I was really like, I want Czechia to qualify because Czechia was a banger. I love that. We will talk about that in a second. But Armenia wasn't one of them. Personally, I really don't like the song. I can see why this qualified. It's very ethnic. It's very cheerful. And the vocals were good and everything. That was fine. It was colorful. And that was fine, but just not for me. And I had the feeling that this might be a bit too repetitive because this la 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 is pretty much the song, isn't it? And then at some point I was like, is Europe really into that? But apparently it is. So here we are. Justin, 6 out of 10. Is that even possible? Okay. But this was hard to predict because we had a lot of borderline countries and only a few countries which were dead certain. Unlike the first semi-final, I think that was easier to predict.
Well, as we lost 6 countries, obviously the lowest score you could get would be 4 out of 10. So
that's already bad, right?
So they did better than worst. So
yeah, see, so you're not the worst. Armenia was super. She's so beautiful. She sings so well. Why Bailey is saying, I like Armenia, but she lacked energy, which is saying Armenia was spectacular. Sad to lose San Marino and Czechia, but Armenia should have been in there regardless. That final, hey Ellen, that final was so cool to see in the stadium. The crowd loved Armenia. So deservedly in the final, I guess. Good job. So now we should go to the non-qualifiers, or mainly the ones we haven't checked, because we already talked about Malta and also Belgium, because maybe these were the borderlines we kind of expect. I would love to talk about Czechia because, I mean, it was my top 10 the whole time. I loved the song, but I was a bit worried about the vocals. And I think, damn, she was slaying so hard. Like vocally, I wasn't expecting that kind of improvement. I think she was amazing. I loved the staging. I loved the fact that she was had the same costume or the hair, especially as the backings. I think that was a very nice visual. And the break in between, I was a bit skeptical about that in the beginning, but I think it worked perfectly because then they had time to get it to the inner circle or whatever that was, and doing this flashlight thing, which was so good. I really loved it. And honestly, I don't know why this didn't qualify. It was always out of the odds. It was always pretty low in the fan base. And I'm like, why? This is a banger. I don't know what she should have done differently. So I'm very disappointed, actually, because after the performance, I was like, she's definitely going to get through. But I was wrong. So any ideas why this didn't make it after all?
I mean, I was shocked that it was
Yeah.
as good as it was.
Me too.
So, because obviously coming out of national final, it was a very different song. So it has been revamped. But saying that, if you compare the song to some of the others in the semi, I think there were stronger versions of that type of song in this semi. So I understood. I didn't have it in my top 10, but I thought it would be on the edge. So I would have loved to have seen them qualify because she really fought hard for the performance. Like I said, she did much more than I expected. But yeah, I think it was just lacking something for some people.
I mean, I think there was just so much strong competition in the semi-final that she struggled to stand out. I had her as a qualifier. I thought, you know, the staging is really good and a big improvement from the national final. And vocally, Aiko was amazing. So I'm quite surprised to see her not qualifying. Potentially, she could be the 11th qualifier as well. Either her or Malta, I think.
Yeah. I'm just disappointed. Oh man. Özünlə is saying Czechia is my biggest grower from last place into my qualifiers. Well, I'm very happy about vocally. She was better than Austria, and I agree, even though Austria is one of my favorites, but vocally she was way better. And in the beginning, we were all saying back in, I think in January or something, it was pretty early, or it wasn't even, was it even December when this was released? And the reception was pretty bad because of her vocals. She was shouting that, "Put myself on the pedestal." It was so bad and shouty, and it wasn't. She wasn't doing that anymore, and it was so much better. Especially the high note in the end. She was slaying. So, don't know. Didn't like Czechia sing a bad attitude in interviews. Well, the others don't know that, so that's not an issue. I think Czechia could have qualified from the first semi-final. You think? Because I think the first one was stronger, personally.
I agree.
Yeah, it's so hard to say, but yeah, here we are. Another one, and I've seen a few comments about that as well. San Marino. San Marino didn't make it again, Bagheera. And even though Spain was voting here, so they had a 12 points head start, they still didn't get it done. Why Bailey is saying, maybe I should sing for San Marino to get them back to the final. And also like, will San Marino ever qualify again? I must say, I had them as a borderline, and I think they had a good shot, and I liked the concept. It was by far the best choice for San Marino. I have seen the whole 4 hours show back then in February, besides the Polar Bear song. That was epic, but the rest was, yeah. So I must say, I liked that performance better than the actual Eurovision one, which is weird. But I think vocally, she wasn't hitting it. She was struggling a bit, I think. And also some of the camera angles weren't working. She came across a bit stressed. I don't know. Some wide shots didn't make sense because they should have focused on the performance, on the dancing, especially during the tango part. I don't know why you do wide shots if you have something going on which you should pay attention to. So there were weird choices for me. So I kind of see why in the end they didn't qualify. Were you surprised about it?
I had San Marino as like a borderline qualifier because whilst I think it's one of San Marino's best stagings they've ever sent in terms of the outfits and the backdrop and the colours, the graphics, probably one of the best we've seen. But I feel like the staging was better than the song, and the song wasn't as good as it could have been, and I think that was why they didn't qualify, because it wasn't a strong enough song compared to the other 15 songs they were competing against.
Yeah, I mean the staging I thought was pretty solid. It had sort of a sort of gothic Alice in Wonderland vibe to it, and so I thought it all came together really quite well. And but again, when you're up against stiff competition, it's difficult to qualify, especially when you've got 16 in this semi.
Yeah. So we're just saying San Marino was out of tune and off rhythm. It was sad. I agree. I really noticed that a few times. Well, Pirates should send artists of their own. Well, they've got 30,000 inhabitants, so I think we got them all.
I think the entire population have already participated.
Exactly. And Valentina is done, I think. She is like, yeah, I'm good. I did it 4 times, so I'd like to see Senate and Serhat again. Bring back Serhat. Jess likes this comment. Hashtag say na na na. Yeah. Okay. As far as San Marino, there's no enough room for 2 freaks. Island already took over. No. I disagree. Anyway. Another non-qualifier, Denmark. Sand. Again, I think the national final performance was stronger than this one. I think vocally she wasn't fully hitting it, which was sad because I think she was kind of stable during the rehearsals, at least the things I've heard. But I wasn't sure about this one. This one was a bit rough, especially during the lower notes. The high notes were fine, but during the verses, I wasn't fully convinced. What was your opinion?
I thought SABA delivered a very good vocal performance, and I love SABA as an artist. I love the song. It's in my top 5 this year. But the staging, as I've said all along, is very empty. You have such an up-tempo, pop, almost kind of dancey kind of song, and she's just alone on stage, not moving a huge amount. And I think that was the downfall, that there wasn't enough happening on stage. So yeah, I'm really sad that Denmark didn't qualify.
Yeah, I mean I knew Denmark wasn't going to qualify, and I brought this up earlier. I think, unfortunately, she fits in the nice category. It's just everything is a little bit nice about it. The staging was nice. She was a nice singer. Yeah, there was nothing there was nothing wrong with her performance. I mean, it wasn't particularly colorful. Again, it was just in that beige category.
Yeah.
So what happens when you're in that beige category is unfortunately you float under the surface and people forget you. So I don't honestly think she did anything wrong, but they could have done things to elevate the performance. But I do feel sorry for SABA because she can sing and she's a very good performer, and the song is of good quality.
Yeah.
It's again, when you need something. It's not just a song contest anymore. It is performance led.
Yeah, and this is like the explanation I say for German results the last 5, 6, 7 years, pretty much. It's always like, it's okay, it's nice, it's beige. I think that's a very good comparison, but you don't vote for beige or okay or nice. You don't do that. And this is why you don't get 11 points or middle votes if you're 11th in someone's ranking. No, you get points if you're top or maybe top 3 in someone's voting, because these are the songs you're voting for. So I think that's what happened here, which is agreeing with me that couldn't sing the low notes in particular. I love the song, but the verses weren't good. And again, Denmark having a streak of non-qualifications here. I think Love is Forever was the last song qualifying. How? Yeah. Denmark's staging was weird. Was so safe in the background, supposed to represent a twin sister. The glitter sand was the only good thing about the staging, sadly. She seems so nice. Yeah, I really like her as an artist for sure, and I've got respect for her. But I don't know. I kind of saw that destiny coming. Even though I was surprised that there was so much glitter sand coming out, and again, and I was like, how in hell has she got so much sand in her hand? That was funny in a way. My Betty is saying she sounded pitchy. Yeah, okay. So one more non-qualifier before we go to the automatic qualifiers. Albania, BESA with Titan. And the fact that we haven't mentioned that song at all says something. It got lost completely. Second in the running order was not the beneficial. I think the translation wasn't a good choice. I said that from the beginning. I think also the stage was very messy. Also, the rhythm change or the speed up by the end was totally random and kind of even like desperate, I would say. So that wasn't it for me. The only thing I really liked was her outfit. I really liked that. She looked stunning. Loved the color scheme. That was nice. But the rest, really, it was screaming non-qualifier for me and not really a shock, which is sad because I watched Festival Ikengis back then in December and I was a bit more hopeful there. I saw the potential, but you should have kept that in Albanian first of all. I think that was a big change to change that. So what's your opinion on Albania?
Yeah, I think both of us, we pretty much had this as a certain non-qualifier. Sadly, for me, the staging wasn't working. It was very confusing. Many elements that didn't go together, and she didn't have a good running order either. I mean, she looks great, she sounds great, and she's a lovely person.
Yeah.
But the song wasn't competitive enough, and the staging wasn't competitive enough either, sadly.
I wasn't a fan of the, and I will always make this comment, I'm not a fan of large body parts being projected on the screens. Not only, Bess is tiny. I mean, she is tiny, and having someone's large body on there makes her look like an ant. So, I mean, it's not helping her presence at all. And obviously, she's trying to fill the stage, not make seem even smaller. So, from that point of view, I don't think they had the staging, the configuration right at all. I mean, I think the song wasn't bad, but again, it was in that beige category again. I think Rich says that it was also beige. So yeah, it's it was an okay song. It just wasn't, stand out. And again, when you're in a semi-final of 16, then you have to stand out.
It wasn't bad. It was just not good. Ah, yeah. Okay. I like that comment. Easy note. Do you feel Albania would have qualified with the original song? No, but it would have placed higher, I think. Maybe not like, I think that was bottom. I can imagine this was maybe last. I totally forgot about Albania, I must say. So maybe with the original one, it would have been like 13th or something. Maybe a bit more competitive, I think. My baby is saying no shock, but love BESA. Yes, we love all the artists. We've got respect. It's just about the song and our taste and our prediction. That's for sure. We respect everyone who's participating, obviously. And Secret, Latvia, wow, and saying that this might be a jury favorite. That's a good point. We had a saying, I like Albania, and good for them that they decided to try something different this time without ethnic motives. Yeah, that's good. That it's not always the same pattern. I like that. So I think we covered that. So we've got 3 automatic qualifiers: France, Spain, and Italy. France was the first one. What was your reaction to that?
Did you mean France?
That was my highlight of the night. That was so funny.
I loved it. I think France is a potential jury winner. And if they can get a high enough televote score, surprise winner overall.
Yeah, I mean, I actually, people are gonna disagree with me, but I think this was the performance of the night. This is how you do simple staging and do it well. He just let his talent speak, and every time I even speak about it, I get goosebumps because it just takes me back to that moment where he steps back from the microphone and you can still hear his vocal throughout the entire arena. It's mind-blowing. I'm not a massive fan of the song, to be fair, but he sold it. And if you're able to sell me a song that I don't particularly care for, that's quite a talent.
We're just saying it might come to France versus Croatia, just like World Cup in 2018. Maybe it's again jury versus televote, like last year, pretty much. That might happen. But Pilot is saying was by far the best. What a vocal moment from France. Slimane! After him, everyone is pale. And televote winner Ireland or Croatia. France dull as a dishwater. Okay. I think France's camera angles were empty at times. I agree. Some of them weren't tight. For example, when they were spinning it around, you were able to see someone running on stage, get the mic holder. That was a bit like getting you out of the illusion. That shouldn't happen in the final. I appreciate the vocals, obviously, and that was a very smart idea to showcase their vocals by stepping away. But I still don't like the song. Sorry. It's like, nah, not for me. Yeah, so jury winner, Switzerland or France? You say Sweden, yeah, no. Do you think it's Switzerland or France by this point?
If I had to pick just one, because we all know how bad I am at picking things and not.
No, that's good. If you pick something, it's out of the contender as a contender. So that's good.
Jury winner, it's going to be a tie between Switzerland and France.
It's going to be a tie, is it?
Yes. 3, 2, 1.
I think it's going to be between France and Sweden.
The jury wins.
Yeah.
Okay. No, this song is so generic. I'm sorry. Spain is the next one. Nebulosa with the song Sora. I just wrote down gay and a bit messy. That's what I wrote down. So it was just for the fans, I think, for the ESC community. It was ticking all the cliche boxes. She was enjoying herself. It was all over the place. And I appreciate it. I still think this is going to be the last. Germany or Spain. Pretty sure these are the ones competing for the last place. But it's fine. I mean, she's just enjoying the fact that she's there and go for it. It's still not like too much of a competitive song, I think. It's just very popular in the fan votings, but I don't see any competitiveness. I'm fully honest. But again, I love the fact that there's some gay representation there again. So what do you think about Spain?
I absolutely freaking love the song. It's my favorites. I mean, it's a complete hot mess on stage. She's, like the lead singer, Mary, is like, go girl, give me nothing. But the song, I mean, she is, a lazy singer. I feel like she's not really trying hard enough. But it's such a bop, though.
No,
I do agree. I think Spain is a contender for last place, sadly.
Yeah, I said this from the beginning. I can't stand a lazy singer, and I'm honestly, I'm not surprised that she didn't have the dancers hold the microphone for her. But
wait, I'm supposed to move? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. You expect me to perform? But no, exactly. It's just I get why it's popular, and I think it's great to have a fan favorite that the fans can get involved with. It's not my sort of cup of tea, but I mean, Jess loves it.
It has an audience. So.
Yeah, it does have an audience, and that's
I love
absolutely
this
fine.
comment here. Spain is nasty, hot sex. We just
don't expect it, unfortunately. Yeah, don't expect it to be out of the bottom 5, I'm afraid.
Yeah, sadly.
Bottom 5, bottom 2. It's, I'm telling you, it's between Germany and Spain, as always, pretty much. So Monica is saying I can stand it, while Betty is saying it's going. So thank you, K, bottom 5, sadly. No, not after this performance. I don't want that to see. Yeah, MZ is saying definitely not last place. I thought Spain's song is actually solid, especially compared to others. Well, solid sounds like beige, don't you think? Jess is screaming for a Nibelus Serhat duet. Are you into that, Jess? Sold.
Could you imagine like 2 people that are not good live singers together? How amazing! It would just be so. It would be so chaotic, so cheesy. Oh my goodness! I'm living for it.
It's so cheesy, and I'm okay with that. So it's called Say Na Na Zora. How's that? Perfect. Love it. The last automatic qualifier was Angelina Mango, La Noia. It was one of the contenders to win, even though during the rehearsals it kind of slipped away a bit. I think the song is still very, very good, but we know that from Italy, it's always very high quality. If you win Sanremo, you need to do something right, obviously. And vocally, she was amazing. I really loved it. I must say, though, the staging was kind of a letdown, so I kind of see why there is a bit underwhelming, mostly because she was a bit like swallowed by the stage, because she looked the same as the dancers and also like the background and the LEDs, all in this brown tree earth theme, which isn't the best, I think, for the song, first of all. And I think that doesn't make sense. If you do this theme, maybe just do it for one side, but not for the singer and the background. I would have changed something about that. And Fred is obviously agreeing, I think, because you're nodding the whole time.
Yeah, we've been saying this since the beginning, since the very first rehearsal of it that we've seen. The word that we keep using is camouflage, because she blends in. She blends into everything else that's on stage, and Eurovision is not about blending in; it's about standing out. And with it being such a bop and such a fan favorite, it makes this it downgrades the song, which is horrible to say, but if you're going to take a great song and give it bad staging, what is your going to result going to be?
Yeah. I mean, I still think Italy has the potential to be top 5 because the song is great and the staging is a bit OTT for me. Angelina, her backing dancers and the staging all just seem the same, essentially. Same colour, same graphics. But the song is great. Angelina, I'm so impressed by her vocals.
Yeah.
And I still think this has a lot of televote and jury appeal to be top 5.
But we're not speaking about a contender to win anymore. And that was Italy before the rehearsal.
I don't think so. But it contended to do very well.
No, I don't think top 5 anymore. I think top 10. But.
Okay.
Which is already low for Italy, considering the recent results. Belly is saying Italy's amazing, but the roses are too much. I'm Italian. I hate Angelina's dress. Maybe because I'm a bit tropophobic. What is that? Afraid of trees? I don't know. I'm still hoping they will go with another one for the final. They could, in theory, change the dress, right? That's fine, I think. I'm not sure. Also, I would do the same.
Outfits can change, obviously.
Yeah, operating career for Eurovision, but her strong suit was spontaneously, and that's all lost. Yeah. So I preferred the Sanremo performance for sure. Okay, so we've seen all the performances, semi-final 1 and semi-final 2. Got 2 questions. First of all, no, 3 questions. So first of all, who was the 10th qualifier, like 10th place?
Latvia.
Yeah, I'll go with Latvia.
Yeah, same. Then second, which semi-final was stronger, the first one or the second?
I personally think semi-1.
I think semi-1.
I agree. I think semi-final 1 was stronger, and in particular, first half of the first semi-final, because the second one was lacking, I think. And third question, who is the winner? What do you think?
The winner of the semi-final, you mean, or the final?
Of the final? Because now we have seen all the performances.
All the songs.
It will be a 2-horse race between Switzerland and Croatia, with one of them taking it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it will be Switzerland and Croatia.
Yeah.
I think Croatia is definitely in the running. I still wouldn't count off Ukraine fully. I think Ukraine was also good.
Yeah.
And personally, love Ireland. I've watched this performance already 20 times, and that was just insane. I think the best staging of all time. It was amazing. Having this narrative horror movie within 3 minutes is crazy. So, Bambi, go for it.
Go down in history for its staging. It will never be forgotten.
Yeah.
But I don't see this winning because again, you need both sides to win.
I can see Ireland top 10 in the final.
Yeah. Top 10. Yeah.
Okay. One more thing before we wrap this up, because we're already like 70 minutes in, but it's so much to talk about. The interval act, Petra Mede with the song "We Love Eurovision Too Much."
Love it, love it, love it.
Epic.
The little sketch with Petra and Linda Woodruff and Charlotte Pretty, loved it. The karaoke sing along, loved it. Oh, I feel like I'm in heaven.
Yeah.
Eurovision heaven.
A musical number about how Sweden just loves Eurovision too much.
Yeah.
Just blew me away. Having Linda Woodruff back,
Yeah.
love her.
I'd say tupaku. Oh, so.
I even love the skit at the beginning with Tattoo in the tanning beds. I love it. I love it all.
This is mainly why Sweden should win again, because of these interval acts with Petra Mede.
This is why Sweden always produce a really, really good contest, because they make good television. They just know how to do it. And I have to give my hands down to Petra. She can deliver it. But obviously all of the bits were written by Edward Afsolin.
Yep.
Again, he's just a musical genius. And will continue to be. Sorry. But yes, 100% wonderful show this evening, and just really look forward to what they've got in plan for us for the final.
Yeah, I love the fact that, especially, I must really praise Sweden for this, or SVT. They really know what the Eurovision fan won, because they've got so many references, which people like us are fully understanding. Some of them were like, I think casual viewers would be like, okay, what was that? And all the Eurovision fans are like, yes! We fully got you, like, huh? For example, like, if you can't compete for Sweden, do it for Cyprus. Everyone was like, hey, why Cyprus? We're like, yeah, sure, because Cyprus never sends Cypriot people. So just these little things show that they really know how to do these, for the fans mainly, I would say. And also like these things like, no, we don't need to win anymore. Maybe just one, so we are ahead of Ireland. This is just gold. This is just amazing. This is what everyone's thinking pretty much. And they are speaking it out, because others wouldn't say that. It's so in your face. It's rude in a way, like, look at us, we're so good. But they're doing it in such a funny way that you can't be mad about it, you know?
I've said it before. The Swedes have no problem in taking the piss out of themselves, and they do it really, really well. They don't take themselves too seriously. They really understand it. It's funny that the amount of news stories I've seen about Grindr notifications on Semi-1 broadcast. It was staged. It was a joke.
Yeah.
But I just think it's hilarious that obviously there are news outlets out there that obviously think that Grindr notifications interrupted the broadcast.
Yeah.
But yeah, and no, I did 100% extremely funny, and they really understand their audience, and I'm so glad that they're going to take us into this final and give us the show to remember.
I'm very happy that Kari got his moment. And also, like, a bit shade to Finland, like, this would have been the show with Finland, and then they showed it, like, quite a bit, like, but that never happened. But in the end, they didn't, something like that. So that was funny. Yeah. Anything else you want to say? Because otherwise, I will wrap this up.
I'm just looking forward to the final now.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Hell yes.
obviously, we'll see some snippets tomorrow, but obviously, a lot of the final stuff will be under wraps and very top secret until the actual day. So they'll probably do a bit of filling so that we won't actually know exactly what's going to happen on the night. But stay tuned, because I guarantee there will be some shocks and surprises come Saturday.
Maybe, like, who do you think is going to close the show? We know that Sweden is the opener. Who do you predict as the closer?
Cyprus.
Really?
Possibly.
It's the only up-tempo song I could remember in the second half.
Well, let's hope that Austria are going to get the second
could be,
draw
yeah.
producer's choice. Then that would be a good closer as well. And maybe, like, also one more thing. How was setup? And Charlotte, Pirelli.
Very good.
They were all amazing.
They were amazing. So, yeah, I think that's it. Thank you for joining us. Thanks, Fred. Thanks, Jess. Is Andy listening?
I know he's gone back already.
Okay.
Yes.
Clara?
They've all gone
No,
back.
everyone's gone. It's just
Because
us.
last time I
We're
missed
the only
them.
ones left.
The Last of Us. Okay. So if you like that live stream, even though it was a bit messy at some point, we're sorry about the noises and everything. We're trying our best. Give us a thumbs up. Subscribe to our Eurovox channel and Facebook and YouTube and Instagram and X and TikTok and Eurovision.tv. I think I covered everything.
Eurovox.tv.
Eurovox.tv, obviously. And yeah. Only 2 days before we know the winner. So excited. Stay tuned. Yeah. Have a good night.
Yes.
Yeah, then.
Good night, guys.
Bye.